Despite coming up short in the first few years, Samsung is back on top among foldable phones with the incredible powerful Galaxy Z Flip 7. From a larger flex window display to the effectiveness of its multimodal AI with Gemini Live and the power of a computer in your pocket with Samsung DeX, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 is finally the flip phone I have been waiting for. Ever since the first Galaxy Z Flip launched, I have always wanted to use Samsung's flip phones as my daily driver. Unfortunately, none of those previous efforts managed to check off all the boxes in what I am looking for. Well, that's until now. Samsung gives the Galaxy Z Flip 7 much more attention than the last few models, and in doing so, it finally meets all of my criteria. As much as the Galaxy Z Fold 7 has its perks, like its 200 megapixel camera and insane thin design, I still think the Flip 7 has the better value and utility to make it the best affordable phone you can buy. There's a lot to unpack aside from the aesthetic changes, but I'll explore all the new additions and Galaxy AI features in my Galaxy Z Flip 7 review. After using the latest Flip for a week, I am convinced it's what all other flip phones should strive to become. Given how last year's model received a $100 price increase, I am relieved that Samsung has kept the Galaxy Z Flip 7 at the same price of $1,099 US. This undercuts the more expensive Motorola Razr Ultra 2025 while delivering more utility. The starting price comes with 256 GB of storage, while the 512 GB model will set you back at $1,219 US with both versions of the Flip accompanied by 12 GB of RAM. At the moment, you can choose from 4 colors: Blue Shadow, Jet Black, Coral Red and Mint. That's fewer colors than Samsung offered with the Z Flip 6, but I hope that changes over time. From a cursory look, it doesn't look like Samsung has done much to change the design of its flip phone with the Galaxy Z Flip 7. It still has flat edges that dig into my hand, and it's really tough to open one-handed, but that changes that are there are certainly welcome. For starters, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 is actually thinner than the previous model at 0.26 inches when opened, and while it's a smidge heavier at 6.63 ounces. That's a warranted given how the Galaxy Z Flip 7 has much larger main display now. Foldable phones have a reputation for being fragile, but not the Galaxy Z Flip 7. Just holding it in my hand, it feels incredibly solid and it manages to retain the same IP48 rating as before with its new armor frame aluminum design. Smudges don't appear as bad because the Flip almost has a matte-like finish, but it is not prone to the usual scratches. Samsung also says the new armor flex hinge is smoother and more durable, but there's still a crease on the Galaxy Z Flip 7's main display. Luckily, it's not as noticeable when watching videos and stuff, but I do like how it isn't as deep as the crease on the Galaxy Z Flip 5 from 2 years ago. I wouldn't say the design is as attractive as the Motorola Razr Ultra, but I am most happy about the flex window display changes. Sadly, Samsung doesn't give the Galaxy Z Flip 7 any big upgrades like what it does with Galaxy Z Fold 7. I am disappointed for sure because the Galaxy Z Flip 7 specs hint at the same exact cameras as before: a 50 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 10 megapixel selfie. Even their apertures are identical to the Z Flip 6, which leads me to suspect that any improvements will be driven largely by the phone's updated Pro Visual engine. However, I will say the Z Flip 7 is the best camera phone for creators due in part of the utility of its flex modes. When you shoot photos and videos as much as I do professionally, you will appreciate how these modes make it much easier to get the shots you want. Samsung offers the most robust camera software out there. The Z Flip 7 has everything I want, like manual video controls, portrait mode, LOG recording, and much more. These are tools much like on my mirrorless camera, making the Z Flip 7 the most versatile camera phone around. In fact, I argue it's even better than the Z Fold 7 because of its flip style design, but it also helps if the Flip can take excellent photos and videos. Here are some camera samples of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7. The Galaxy Z Flip 7 is the best foldable phone in my opinion. After using the Z Fold 6 for most of the last year, it's refreshing to switch it to a flip style phone. I'm especially glad it's much lighter, more compact device for me to carry around. Thanks to big upgrades like its larger flex window display, multi-modal AI capabilities, and Samsung DeX, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 has all the ingredients in what I want in a phone, and it helps that it doesn't cost a fortune either. Over on the creative side of things, no other phone matches the utility of the Flip for what I want in a camera phone. Although the camera performance is barely improved from the Galaxy Z Flip 6, its rich camera app and handy flex window display make it more powerful to use. Motorola has dominated the flip phone scene for the last couple of years now, and while the Razr Ultra 2025 is a super upgrade, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 convinces me that Samsung is back on top. I would even recommend getting it over other $100 priced flagships like the Pixel 9 Pro or iPhone 16 Pro. Those phones in no way can match the utility of the Galaxy Z Flip 7.